Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Juju's Journey. Let me look at the calendar real quick and tell you what day it is. Let me see. Oh, it's Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. I guess that sums it up. You can tell what kind of week I've had. Well, it's been one of those weeks, but I'll take it. It's Oh, I'm so tired. It's not one of those weeks that I can say I've been productive, because I have not. But that's okay. I had all these high expectations, but then sometimes you just don't feel good. And we've had a week of it. And I'm just praying that I'm not catching what my daughter had, because I'm going to the beach on Friday. I cannot be sick, and I cannot get my Aunt Debbie sick. So it's just one of those days. My daughter caught this horrible, horrible stomach virus. But before I tell you about the stomach virus, let me tell you, I'm Juju. I'm 57. This channel is just a channel for me to document or be there. Like, after my husband died, just trying to document how far I've come moving forward, trying to find happiness, love, joy, budgeting, living on this tight fixed income. I got my house insurance in the mail today. I've got to go back and see what I paid last year, but it was way more than I anticipated. Yep. And I've been bragging that I saved up for that. I don't think I quite saved up enough money, but thank God I do have a little bit of money. That's the whole point of this budgeting thing. You're saving. But it just bums me. I don't know if it's went up because everybody's insurance went up. I don't know if it went up because I'm a widow. And of course, I don't know. I have no idea. Not saying that I'm a widow. I think insurance companies do things like with your credit. And I mean, I never had a car loan in my name. My husband would just go buy a car. We never even thought about it. So maybe his credit was better than my credit. I have no idea. I don't know. I just thought I saw somewhere in the past that they go by your credit rating, which I think I have a decent one. I don't see why I wouldn't. But if you don't have credit, then that's not good either, right? And I shouldn't need credit if that is the case, period. I'm 57 years old. I don't need credit. No. Anyway, I'm going to go and talk to him next week. I'm not doing it this week. But anyway, it's all about budgeting, planning, doing things, getting things done. But this week has been a bust. My daughter, who I spent all weekend with, caught this horrible stomach bug. I mean, it was really bad. It came on fast, and it hit hard. It hit so hard that her heart was palpitating and just speeding out of control. She couldn't stop shaking. And so I told her, she kept saying, I think I need to go to the emergency room. And I said, you know your body better than anybody. If you're scared, go. Anyway, they said that she was already extremely dehydrated, and they did give her some fluids, but they said, she's a little thing. When I say she's tiny, they said that her magnesium was low, so they gave her a pill for that. And they also gave her, but when she got her blood work back, it also said that her blood sugar was high. So y'all let me know if that's common after you've thrown up profusely for all day long. I don't know. But she had her wisdom teeth removed a couple of weeks ago, and then she caught this crud. So her immune system's kind of down anyway. But she's my weird kid. She's the one that when she gets sick, just weird things happen to her. You know, she's the one that her eyeball swells out of her head. She's allergic to something, but her whole eyeball will swell up, and it looks like a jellyfish, and it's coming out of her eye socket. Never, as many kids as I've been around my whole entire life, never have I seen anything quite like that. But she was already being monitored because of her heart rate and her blood pressure before. So so we're kind of thinking her heart rate was up because she had been keeping a record. And she was due to go back to the doctor on Tuesday anyway. So she did go to that doctor's appointment, and they're going to bring her back in 2 weeks and do some more blood work. So hopefully it's just because her body's out of whack. Y'all pray for her, please. But with that being said, I have no idea. Yesterday I was extremely tired, only because I stayed up until she got home from the emergency room. And so I did. I took a nap yesterday afternoon, which was a much needed nap. Yesterday morning went by so slow. I could not wait. I could not wait until I picked up my granddaughter, because I knew I could not take a nap until I picked her up and got her home and then got myself home. But that time went by so slow. It was like it took 5 hours just to get 1 hour past. It was the slowest day ever. And so this morning, my daughter, who was sick, they told her not to go back to work today. She thought she was better. And she's like, I'm coming to your house. I can't stand being in this house any longer. She's the one that gets up at right time the sun comes up and gets dressed, ready, and is ready to go. And I said, you can't come to my house. And she was so upset. I said, you are not going to take a chance of getting me sick. And you know I'm going out of town this weekend. And plus I've got to be around my grandchildren. Don't do that. And so, anyway, she's a little bit butthurt. And then she said, I won't see you until Monday, because my daughter won't let her come over and eat lunch with us until next week. Only on tomorrow's Thursday, so it's just tomorrow. Fridays we don't eat lunch together. But I said, you're okay. You'll be okay. And then she finally admitted it. She said, I won't get to see you until Monday. I said, are you going to miss me? And she said, yeah. And I said, do you miss me now? And she said, yes. I haven't seen you since Sunday. And today's Wednesday. Isn't that sweet? I love my children. I just got off the phone with my son. He's upset because Verizon is out all over, apparently, the United States. And he can't speak to his significant other. She works. I'm sure they need to speak about who's going to pick up their son from the babysitter. But with all that being said, I don't feel good today, and I don't think I'm sick. I just don't feel good. I was so hungry, and I had to go to the grocery store. I was so hungry when I went to the grocery store. I kind of felt jittery. You know that feeling? And I went down every aisle trying to find something that was going to be good for my daughter and I to eat for lunch. Well, at this particular grocery store, they have a buffet. I picked up all of these food items. Like, I know what we're going to eat for lunch tomorrow, but I didn't want to wait and cook. For us to cook. Oh, it was the worst. So you pay by pound. And of course, I'm like, well, how do you weigh it? And they said you weigh it at the checkout. Like when you check out, they weigh it there. Anyway, I paid $16. I only made one plate, and I was making it big enough for my daughter and I. Anyway, my plate was 1 pound, 5 4. Is that a 5 or a 6? 1.64 pounds. And it was $9.99 a pound. So I paid $16.38. Oh, goodness. And it was horrible. Like, my daughter took one bite of everything. I actually ate it. But I mean, it was like little chicken wings. And I just got the normal ones that were fried because I didn't know what the barbecue ones and all that were going to taste like. I put macaroni and cheese. I put like just one of those little drumettes, like two. One for me, one for her. They had like the kielbasa sausage, which that was the best that that was the best thing that they served. So I put 2 pieces, like they had them sliced up. I put 4 pieces, 2 for her, 2 for me. We each got a little chicken wing or drumette. Macaroni and cheese. They had mozzarella cheese sticks, so I put 1 for her, 1 for me. And then they had these tater tot things, but they were bigger. So I put 2 for her and 2 for me. And that was our lunch, and we shared it, and it was horrible. It was, no, when I say, and I'm not picky like that, I mean, it was horrible. Never, ever, ever again. But I have felt yuck since lunch. And just pray that that's what it is, and I'm not getting sick. You know. You know. I hope I'm just not, I'm not psyching myself into being sick. You know how sometimes you can do that. But today it's just cold too. You know, last week, remember I told you it was what, 79, 80 degrees? It was so warm. Well, our high today is 52 degrees and our low tonight's going to be 38. And it's a light drizzle. And I don't know if anybody knows about South Carolina. We are a very humid state. I had a really good friend of mine that moved from this area to Wisconsin. And you know, they get below 0. She would always say it's colder in South Carolina when it gets cold than it is here in Wisconsin because they have a dry cold. And she said, we have a wet cold. Well, it's a wet cold today, and I am so cold. I cannot get warm. And I still have this crud. And I've psyched myself up thinking I'm going to get a stomach bug. So, no, I haven't been productive today. But I've been kind of writing down things that, as I come across them, that make me laugh. Because I find so much enjoyment off of silly stuff. And my children get on me because sometimes they think my sense of humor is, let's say, crude or bad. I don't know. They don't think everything I think is funny. I don't know. But like today, this was a question on Facebook and it said, the part of your body you wash first shows a lot about your personality. The part of your body that you wash first shows a lot about your personality. Well, I mean, I always start from my head and work my way down, right? Is that the correct way? I mean, do people start from feet first? And then, I mean, especially with like a washcloth, that would not be good, would it? You don't want to start there and then end up with your face. I don't know. I hope. I hope starting with your head and working your way down is the proper way of, um, I hope that's a good thing about my personality. What are your thoughts? Leave me a comment and let me know, because I find that very interesting. We might be talking about that tonight at dinner. But then again, what if they don't start at the top of their head? Do I really want to know? Like, what if I ask my son-in-law, the part of your body you wash first shows a lot about your personality. And he's like, no, I always start with my honey, or I always start with my feet. I don't know if I can look at him the same again. I mean, does that say... I mean, you start at your head, right? I think you start at your head and then work your way down. Tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I don't know. And then I read, I like, whenever you like something or follow something, I bought my son a t-shirt just because it was funny and we had talked about it. And so, of course, we spoke about it, and then it showed up in my news feed. And it was like, I'm the dad that goes to the grocery store and always comes home with the milk. So I ordered that t-shirt for him. Well, now I'm seeing all these crazy t-shirts on my news feed. And this one says, if you can't be the sharpest tool in the shed, you can always be the hoe. And I don't know, would you wear that t-shirt? Like, if somebody bought you that t-shirt, would you actually wear it? See, I want to be the person that would actually wear it, but I would chicken out. The worst one that I've gotten is the chicken butt one. But then I started getting these outlandish t-shirts just to kind of wear, just so my children would say, what in the world are you wearing today? I'll have to show those to you. But anyway, I thought that was funny. And here's another one that popped up today. It says, don't judge a woman by pounds, and you won't be judged by inches. Would you wear that one out in public? And then this is another thing that popped up on my Facebook today. It said, what's worse? Pregnancy tired, newborn tired, or toddler tired? Well, I thought about that. See, I've been so busy today. I can't do anything today. I just don't feel like it. So this is what I've been doing. Apparently, I'm not going on that vacation because I said, if you don't work hard, then you don't get to go on vacation. I just can't do it. I cannot do it today, I promise. I don't feel that good. So I've just been kind of scrolling through my phone to kill a little bit of time. I think I was in the car line whenever I was reading these today. What's worse? Pregnancy tired, newborn tired, or toddler tired? I thought about it. Y'all leave me a comment which one you think is the worst. I personally think toddler tired, right? Pregnancy tired, you're tired, but you have no idea. You think, especially if it's your first child, you think, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I can't wait to have this baby. Then you realize, girl, you thought you were tired. You don't even know what tired is. But newborn tired, you're like extremely tired, right? But you can nap when the baby naps, and people tend to cater to you a little bit more, you know? But toddler tired? Whew, that's a whole different type of tired. Toddler tired is the worst. Don't you agree? I just remember when my kids were little, I mean, with that second one, and you got a toddler, I mean, you're just doomed. Pregnancy, you're tired during your pregnancy because of the toddler. The newborn tired, you're tired because of the toddler, and then you're also tired because of the toddler. But you're just tired. I mean, I remember walking into the kitchen and going, don't move, don't move. And my son was standing on top of the refrigerator. And I was telling him, like, do not jump. He was going to jump. He had climbed up on the counter and then climbed up on the refrigerator. This child could climb anything, though. He could climb a 50-foot pine tree. You know, there were no limbs to climb up a pine tree. He would just shimmy up it. Shimmy up it. In those rock climbing parks that you can go to, he would just go straight up to the top and ring the bell. People would just stand around and watch him, and he would be like 4 or 5 years of age. Wasn't afraid of heights. He used to scare the living daylights out of me. But now he's a grown man, and he still scares the daylights out of me. He said if I see him doing stuff now, and it scares me, he said, you don't ever want to see what I do at work. He's a welder, but he works right now in a nuclear facility. And then the places that he has to go, because he's not a big person, and so he gets to go to all the little tiny places nobody can get to. So I told him he needed to get that dad bod because he's in his 30s. Let somebody else younger do it, right? But anyway, so my tip to everybody today is wash. I think you should wash from your head down to your feet. I think when you go from a drastic weather change and you are retired, then you should get underneath your electric blanket and stay warm and watch television. That's what I'm going to go do right now. And then I think that if you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, I don't think you need to be a hoe. But it's a funny t-shirt. Do not. No, I'm going to save that one for last. I don't even know what to say about the t-shirt that says don't judge a woman by pounds if you want, and then therefore you won't be judged by inches. I think that's always going to be around, don't you? I think people are going to be judged by pounds and their inches. I just don't think that's going away. Just let's be honest. And I do think toddler tired is the worst. But the main thing that you should never, ever, ever do, especially at the grocery store I went to today, do not get the buffet. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And that's all I have to say today. All of those things made me laugh, and that's part of my journey, is finding joy in the little things. These were the type things. Okay, for example, didn't y'all see the TikTok where people would try to skip a run using the same arm and the same leg. So if you took you know, and so I would watch something like that. Then I would tell my husband, they say that there's only a very few people. It means you're like the best athlete in the world if you can run leading with the same arm and leg, you know? And so I'd get him out in the backyard. I mean, I've got videos of him running, doing it. And it's so ridiculous. And then when it was the challenge of grown men skipping, I mean, we even got it with my son-in-law doing it, and he didn't even catch on either. My husband would kind of catch on but go with it. But whenever I said, they say you can't do it. Like, you can't run leading with the same arm. And he said, yes, you can. I'm like, no, you can't. Yes, you can. And anyway, he would get up to show me. And then we would be laughing so hard. I don't know. The internet makes me happy. Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I love all three. I don't even have cable. So everything I do is social media or internet. And it makes me extremely happy and gives me so much joy to read stupid stuff like this. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I did wake up and do my devotion. Check. I have not skipped. It's been good, but it hasn't been, I haven't had a moment, but I haven't been weak either, I mean, my devotions have been good, but it hasn't been anything so compelling that I feel like, oh my gosh, let me tell you. I mean, although the Bible's always good, don't get me wrong. But, yeah. It's been good. I say I've got to go get in that bed. I'm freezing. I'm cold. And it's only, well, goodness, it's 5:25. I guess I'll go warm up until I get that phone call from my daughter that says dinner's ready. I have got so much to be thankful for, and I am very thankful. Every morning when I do my prayers, I always thank God for everything He's given me. I mean, it's hard being a widow, and it's hard losing somebody that you spent your whole adult life with. But boy, God bless me for all those years. I could have had a very crappy relationship, and I could have had crappy children. I could just be by myself right now. I mean, I'm so blessed. And for those of you that, things like that have happened, I'm so sorry. Life is meant to be fun and shared and have people in your life that love you. And if you don't have things like that, I'll pray for you and hope that you find it. I will. Anyway, may the Lord bless you and protect you, and may the Lord smile down on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you His favor and give you His peace. And that's Numbers 6:24 through 26. And hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and please let me know which part of the body you wash first. I don't know. Maybe don't. I might not want to know. Y'all have a good night. Bye.